Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. I am very excited for today's build because we are building the second gen of the legacy, the Very Veggie Eggplant house. And I was most excited about this house because it's all purple and purple just happens to be my favorite color. I'm actually a hairstylist full time, and that's basically my main career. So, this I kind of just do because I love it and it's fun. But since I'm a hairdresser, I do have purple hair, and I have had purple hair, I want to say, for like 7 or 8 years. So, yeah, anyway, that's just a little bit about me, but let's get on and talk about what we're building here. We are building in the world that came with the Love Struck expansion pack, and it is called Ciudad Enamorada. I probably botched that all up, but we are building in that world, and that is actually based off of Mexico, the country. And, I love this, Mediterranean build style. It's probably one of my favorites to do. I don't know why, but it seems to just come naturally to me. I've always been very drawn to the Mediterranean feel. So this was a really fun build, and honestly, I just had this image in my head of what I wanted this house to look like for the next generation, and she is an evil sim, and she has the aspiration like villain Valentine, where you go around and you cheat and you break as many hearts as you can, which I've actually never played that way before. So I had a blast playtesting the sim and playtesting this house. And I've kind of embodied that character and was playing around with this house, and it was chaos. It was fun chaos. And honestly, this house made me so excited to continue on with the Very Veggie Legacy Challenge because I cannot wait for the next gen and just to see where the story takes us. And if you have been watching on my channel, I've kind of staggered off on uploading, but I promise I will get right back to it. I'm about to edit the next episode, which I want to say is episode 6 of the Very Veggie Challenge. And I'm a little bit pre recording, so I'm a couple episodes ahead of you guys as far as when they're coming out. So, yeah, like I said, this house just made me really excited to keep going and to get to the next generation. And I think it's going to be a fun legacy challenge. Now, for the windows for this house, I am using the Love Struck windows that came with the expansion pack. And I want to say those arches are from Jungle Adventure, which I actually just picked up Jungle Adventure. I did not have Jungle Adventure for the longest time. So those came in real handy in this build. I feel like they have that Mediterranean feel. So I thought they really worked perfectly for this build. And now you can see I'm just kind of going through and I'm carving out where I want all the landscaping. I kind of kept it simple. I included a lot of purple flowers. So majority of the flowers around this house is purple, as is everything else in this house. Which, by the way, is kind of a difficult task because I feel like we haven't gotten a lot of purple things. Purple in The Sims is probably the color that we have the least of as far as the amount of furniture and wallpaper. But I felt like I made this work, and thank God for Love Struck because I do think that a lot of purple items came with Love Struck. So I was able to make this house majority purple. I did not make everything purple. I just made it kind of the dominant color of this build. So there is some other colors mixed in there, but majority of this house is purple. These little stones that I'm placing now are from the Riviera Retreat Kit, and I thought they would look so pretty kind of walking up to the house and kind of add to that Mediterranean feel. And I feel like we really should have more of those stepping stones. I know we have some in debug, but because I play on a PlayStation, I don't particularly love accessing debug. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to go in and get back to where you were and continue building and using the same items because you can't use the eyedropper tool for things that are in debug. Obviously, I know there are mods that you can download that would help you and assist you in that department, but like I said, I play on a PlayStation, so stuff like that, it kinda makes it a pain in the butt, so hopefully, my goal is to, at some point, upgrade to a PC so that I am able to add a little bit of modding in just to not necessarily use mod furniture, but just to place items more freely. I think it would come in handy in situations like that. But now we are starting in on the backyard, and this part of the build is probably one of my favorites. Well, I can't necessarily say that because I really did highly enjoy this build, just the color scheme and the backstory behind it. But we are working on the backyard. And part of this legacy challenge is you have to have a little garden, and she's gonna grow eggplants back there. Also, in this house, I did include a basement, which I don't normally do, but I thought it was a really fun idea for this build because she also has to master the nectar making skill. And so in the basement, kind of tucked off of her bedroom, I included a little room where she can make her nectar and store her wine. And so, yeah, that is part of one of the skills this generation has to max out. And I just love that idea. So, in my head, I had this vision of this Mediterranean house and this little cute wine cellar, which the wine will age more rapidly if you store it in the basement. So, fun fact in case you didn't know with the nectar making, I believe that nectar making came with the Horse Ranch expansion pack. But yeah, if you keep and store your nectar in the basement, it will actually age much faster than if you kept it, say, on the ground level, which makes sense because in real life, I believe that's kind of how it works as well. So that was a very interesting part of the Horse Ranch expansion pack that I thought was cool. And so, yeah, in my head, I had this vision of this Mediterranean house with this little nectar making station in the basement. So that's what I went for. And now you can see I am adding a few little decals in the bottom of the pool. I added some of these cute turtles and they came in a purple swatch. Now, there is teal on there, but the turtles themselves are purple. And I made the bottom tiles of the pool purple. I added some of these bubble makers so that when she is in her room in the basement, I kind of have like a little see through window through the bathroom and her bedroom where she could see into the pool. And I thought it would be so pretty to see those bubbles coming up when you're just hanging out and she's doing her makeup. Like that's the dream, man. If I if I had a bedroom and I could overlook the pool or underneath the pool rather, that would be like I'd feel like I made it for sure. So, yeah, I am now working on the barbecue area. I included this cute little barbecue station and I got the ketchup and the mustard next to the barbecuer. And I did include a little sink. So, if your Sims, need to wash up, they can do it right outside. And then I included this little picnic table with the purple umbrella, and I thought it fits so beautifully back here. And then I included that little, like, woohoo game, I guess it is. It came from the Love Struck expansion pack. So I kind of imagined she'd have a lot of her, potential partners over here or her potential victims, I should say, over here, and they could sit out here and hang out. Like, it's literally this backyard is the ultimate party spot, and so that's kinda what I was going for. I was going for, like, a single girly that is kind of like a man eater. She can hang out here, invite her friends over, have a pool party, hang out with the girls. Like, she is her own bachelor, she is living it up in this house. So, with that being said, I had to include a bar. So, she has a little bar back here, and I included some liquor bottles that we got with, I want to say, life and death. I put those on the bar. And then, of course, I had to include a floaty in the pool. I put these lanterns or candle floating lights in the pool, and I thought it just tied it all together. So, I am very happy with that backyard. That was a fun backyard to make and to create and to actually play in because that's the dream right there. Have some loungers, a barbecue, a pool, a floaty, like I was enjoying this house thoroughly. But now we're getting on to the inside, and I'm kind of decorating this little walkway. It's almost like a breezeway from the front of the yard to the back of the yard. So it's almost just like, and I included a little bathroom nook in that little spot. So I kind of imagine, you could go through there and get to the party. And that was kind of her private entrance to the backyard. And now we are starting in on the living room. And I really, really like how this living room turned out. And I was kind of skeptical at first just because I felt like it wasn't big enough. But in the end, I think I included everything that I wanted to include. And this TV, I want to say, came from one of the vintage packs or kits. And it fits so beautifully in here. And it kind of had that older feel, I guess, more Victorian. So I kind of wanted it to feel somewhat eclectic and not modern, if that makes any sense. But as you can see, the purple theme is shining brightly. I included this purple couch and this purple chair from Paranormal, and it fits so cute. I love that Paranormal couch. I do use it quite often. So if you see it on my channel, yeah, I love it. So I thought it fit really pretty here and it added a little bit of different colors. And so I included this record player and then I included a little spot for her to sit with her doggy. I did imagine there was a dog living in this household. And in fact, she did end up adopting a dog while I was playtesting this house. So I included a pet bowl and all the essentials you would need for a dog in this house. And so I am getting in on the kitchen, and I want to say this is one of my favorite rooms in the house. It's certainly up there as far as one of my favorite kitchens I've done. I just love this wallpaper, and when I put that wallpaper down, I felt like the whole kitchen just came alive and really started to give what I was trying to accomplish. So, and these counters came from the Life and Death expansion pack, and they fit so beautifully in this kitchen with that gold kinda outline on the counters. I thought it looked so pretty. And also, I wanna say the stove and the dishwasher is also from the Life and Death expansion pack, which I was super, super excited about because I thought it fit so perfectly with this build. And before that expansion pack, we did not have any purple, appliances or anything like that. Also, I used the refrigerator in the same swatch, which I was super excited about those. So I thought it really, really pulled this kitchen together. And here you can see I am placing that refrigerator. And I put these long cabinets next to the refrigerator. And the way the cabinets perfectly enclose the refrigerator is so satisfying to me. So thank you to The Sims for finally doing that. I feel like we've always had that awkward gap in between our refrigerators and our counters, and we've kind of had to scooch it all together to make it look cohesive, but it just came together quite beautifully. And now you can see I put a bunch of clutter up on these shelves and I am cluttering up. I put the new cutting board from the new kitchen clutter kit. I forgot the actual name of it. We've gotten so many kits at this point. With these kits, I'm terrible about the names, but yeah, now we are starting in on the little dining area. And this was one of my favorite little sections of this kitchen. I love those chairs that came with life and death. And I did put a fluffy rug under the dining room table. And I know that is seriously unpractical in real life, but hey, in The Sims, it doesn't matter. All you got to do is mop it up and keep on going. So I didn't think it really made too much of a difference in this house, so I thought it looked really pretty. And now I am working in on this bathroom, and this is just a small bathroom. I didn't include a shower or anything in this bathroom, so it is just a sink and a toilet. And I kind of imagine that would be the bathroom that everybody was using when they came over and they were hanging out by the pool, so I wanted it to be easily accessible. And now I am starting in on this little, I wanna say, I guess you could call it a mud room. So I included the dog bowls in here, and I'm just adding a few clutter pieces around, and so your dogs can go back there and eat. And I actually included, like, a little secret bookshelf so you could get back there, which was completely unnecessary, but I kind of imagine that she had that personality type where she kinda, like, enclosed her back room off and didn't want people to go back there unless invited, so I thought that was kinda fun. Now we are starting in on this little upstairs hallway. I included a picture of her and her doggy and just a few clutter pieces, some candles, and then I put a little chair and I kinda draped all the openings and the archways with curtains, and I wanted to feel kinda mystical and enchanting, and speaking of enchanting, I did use the new Enchanted by Nature in this build, so I wanna say it's just this bathroom that I included the Enchanted by Nature because at this point, I think it had just came out and I was already working on this house. So I did include the wallpaper and those lights. So that's about the only thing from the new pack that's in this house. So also, I do want to say I tend to use a lot of different packs when I'm building. I just like having access to all the content and all the different possibilities. So if in the future you want me to do a limited pack build, I'm more than happy to do that. I know sometimes it's not as accessible for you guys to download off the gallery, especially if you don't own a lot of the expansion packs or the kits. So I am definitely up for that challenge. So just let me know in the comments below if that's something you would be interested in. But anyway, we are starting in on the cute little office area. So for her career, she has to be in the romantic consultant career path. So yes. So she is definitely out here giving advice. Meanwhile, she is cheating and she is breaking up relationships and it's very devious and I really I really liked playing in this aspect just because it was different than something that I might try myself. So she has a little office where she brings her clients over, and I included a little coffee machine. And I kind of thought, yeah, she would have consultations and have couples come up into this office, and she would be able to give them therapy or counseling or whatever she is into. But I included a couple chairs on the other side of the desk so, like I said, I kind of imagine she'd take her clients up here and she would be talking to them up here and doing her business up in this office. And now we are getting in on her little workout area. So, you can take that office and this little workout section and convert them into bedrooms. But for this challenge, she does have to max out the fitness skills. So I wanted to include a gym just because I don't normally include a gym in my builds. And actually, this turned out to be a lot of fun. And I love how this gym turned out. I absolutely adore those workout machines because 'cause they're, like, lined with purple, and I was like, "This is freaking perfect. Look at that treadmill." Like, that is a beautiful, beautiful treadmill. I wanna say this did come with Love Struck too. I included majority of Love Struck in this house. So, yeah, I wanna say that workout equipment came with Love Struck, and it was perfect. I was so excited about it. And so here you can see I'm placing down these little rugs, and I wanna say those rugs came from high school years, and I thought they looked so cute and so hip and trendy in here. And then out on this balcony, I included a little yoga mat because her mom, which would be the broccoli generation, was a big yoga girl. So I kind of imagined she would take some of that energy and into her adulthood and enjoy yoga as well. So I did include that on the balcony. And now I am just working in on this little landing area before you enter her bedroom. And here is the bedroom. It is absolutely phenomenal. Could you imagine looking out and seeing the pool in your bedroom and having that ambiance? I thought it was so cool. And I want to say that bed is from Lovestruck, and so are the end tables. And then you can see I'm about to include this little gallery wall, I guess, from Lovestruck, and it's like pictures of different Sims, and here I'm placing it now. And so she like circled some and hearted some and then crossed some out. And I really thought that fit the gameplay aspect so perfectly because she's a vicious Valentine and she's out to break as many hearts as she can. So I kind of imagine she'd have that wall where she kind of had her next people lined up, and I thought it a lot of the things that came with Love Struck really fit the legacy challenge really well. So I was very stoked about how this turned out. And so I included this little vanity area. I kind of assumed and envisioned she would sit down and do her makeup there. And it kind of fit the vibe of who I thought this sim might be. And now you can see I am working on this little built in closet area, and I wasn't really sure what to place here, so I kind of thought, what would she have? She would definitely have a lot of clothes and she would want to put them on display. So I included this kind of built in closet area and I'm just cluttering it up. And then I put a wall and like an archway to kind of divide it off. And I wanna say I don't know if I play tested this closet, but I wanna say it is functional for your Sims to click on one of the wardrobes and to change. So I'm gonna have to go and check that out and make sure that works. But either way, you can click on your sim and change their outfit. So I don't normally use the closets. So, but I thought it looked really pretty and I included some lights going around the archway, and I was really excited about how that turned out. And now we are getting in on the bathroom. So she does have a shower down here. And I want to say that shower came with Love Struck. And I put this big old jacuzzi tub in here because why not? She has the best of the best. And with that view, I thought that was a perfect spot to put like a little bubbly tub. So I can imagine her taking her bubble baths there and just looking out into the water. And like I said, I had a blast playtesting this house because it's so up my alley as far as just the whole Love Struck in general. I feel like I just loved all the purple swatches and the colors that the items came in, including this wallpaper that I've used in this bathroom. So, yeah, so we are about to start in on her little nectar making place. So, I was really excited for how it turned out. I kind of wanted to keep it more trendy and feeling like, there's a young sim up in here making nectar. So I kind of imagine her being the sim that she is, that she'd want to look at herself while she worked out because I want to say it's part of a fitness skill. I mean, it's its own skill, but you have to be pretty fit to make nectar, I want to say. So I included some mirrors and then she can store all her nectar inside of these. I included quite a bit actually. That would be tough to fill all those up. And then I love this plant that's supposed to be for outdoors. This is from Romantic Gardens and I placed it on top of these little wine storage units, and I thought it was so cute, and it was purple, so it fit the theme. And I really like how that turned out. And I'm just cluttering up. I put a little broken heart in here because I imagine she's back here kind of maliciously laughing, like, I'm breaking all these Sims' hearts. So I included this love struck picture and this love struck neon sign with like the devil horns and like I thought that was so perfect. So I hope you guys did enjoy this build. I'm just going to go around and place a few minor details, but this is pretty much it for this build. And like I said, I really enjoyed this one and I hope you guys did too. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. And thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe and like and share this video. I really enjoy reading your guys' comments, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.